Okay, so hopefully you've had time to try each one of these problems. So now let's see what the solutions are. So first thing is that RT is one of the diagonals and US is the other one. And we know that the diagonals are equal when we have a rectangle. So I can set these expressions equal to each other. Okay. Now I start by subtracting 2x. That gives me 3x. I add 14, and that gives me 24, and we divide by 3. So we get x equals 8. Then I need to plug back in to find VT. So I can go into either one. So I'm going to go into the one that's easier to work with. So 2 times 8 is 16, plus 10 would be 26. So that means that US is 26, which means that each piece of it would have to be 13, and likewise for this diagonal. So VT would then be 13. Right, so VW and SU. So in this case, SU, notice, will be twice as long as VW. So the way that I would write that is SU is twice as long as VW. And therefore, the expression for SU would have to equal twice the expression for VW. Now from here, I can distribute. Okay, so I distribute the 2. We get 18x minus 22. Okay, and then we subtract 16x, right? So that gives 2x. We add 22, and that equals to 10. And divide by 2, and we get x equals 5. Right, so now at this point we can plug back in. So trying to find WT, so we can plug in to VW. So we plug in here, we have 9 times 5 minus 11. So that's 45 minus 11. So together that would be 34. Right? So for number 11, the first thing I would do here is I would add these expressions together, and then I would set them equal to 90. Right? So we have 15x minus 15 is equal to 90. So I can add 15 to both sides. I get 15x equals 105. And we divide by 15. And if you're having trouble with your mental math, you can certainly use a calculator at that point. So 105 divided by 15, you get 7 for x. Now JHI, J to H to I, so this angle would have to be the same as this based on alternate interior. So I will plug into here. Okay, so that's 21 plus 2 is 23 for the unknown angle. And next we want to solve for x here. So first of all, we know that this one would also be 5x plus 7, right? And there's a little shortcut we can do whereby we could set these two, the sum of these, equal to 134. So maybe it's a little bit tricky, but we remember that when we have a triangle, if we have an exterior angle, that equals the sum of the two remote angles. So that's exactly the situation that we have here. And there's other ways to do this, but this is the way I'm going to choose to do it. So we set this equal to 134. We subtract 14 to both sides. Okay, and then we divide by 10. And we find x equals 12. Right, so that's pretty much it for this set of problems.